Listen carefully. Smart people don't speak more. They speak better. And the truth is simple. Your words create your reputation long before your actions do. Every room you walk into is already judging you, not by your intelligence, but by your clarity, your calm, and your control. This audiobook teaches you the discipline of smart speaking, the skill of saying less, saying it clean, and saying it with power. If you want respect, precision, and influence, it starts with your mouth. And today, we rebuild that skill from the ground up. Chapter 1. Stop talking fast. Slow speech wins power. Listen closely, because what I'm about to tell you is one of the simplest, most overlooked habits that instantly changes how the world sees you. People judge your intelligence not by your ideas, but by the speed you deliver them. And most people speak too fast, way too fast, rushing through sentences, rushing through thoughts, rushing through moments as if they're afraid their words will expire if they don't push them out immediately. But here's the truth you must accept right now. Fast talk signals anxiety. Slow talk signals authority. Every time you rush, you communicate fear. Every time you slow down, you communicate control. I want you to imagine two people in a room. One speaks like a machine gun, fast, breathless, scattered. The other speaks slowly, calmly, deliberately. Who do you trust? Who do you follow? Who feels smarter? Always the one who speaks slowly, because slow is smart, slow is strong, slow is respected. This is the first discipline of speaking intelligently. You must break the addiction to speed. Why fast speaking destroys your power. Let's go deeper. When you talk fast, three things happen immediately. 1. You reveal insecurity. People talk fast when they're scared they won't be heard. They talk fast when they're unsure of their words. They talk fast when they're trying to impress. But the paradox is simple. The faster you speak, the less impressive you sound. Because smart people don't rush. Smart people don't sprint through sentences. Smart people respect their words enough to slow them down. 2. You lose clarity. Fast speech kills sharp communication. Your message gets tangled. Your ideas blur. Your phrases collapse into each other. Nobody can follow you, not because they're slow, but because you are rushing. Clarity requires space. Clarity requires breathing room. Clarity requires a pace that allows your listener to process what you're saying. 3. You trap yourself in survival mode communication. Fast speech imitates panic. It puts your brain in a state of tension. You stop thinking. You stop choosing your words. You switch from clarity to chaos. And chaos never sounds smart. The power of slowing down. Real-world proof. Let's get practical. Think about the CEOs you've heard speak. Think about world leaders. Think about professors who command a room with nothing but their voice. What do they all have in common? They speak slowly, not lazily, not carelessly, but deliberately, with intention behind every syllable. They use pauses like weapons. They use silence as a strategy. They use pacing to increase impact. When a CEO stops mid-sentence, the whole room leans in. When a confident person slows their pace, everyone pays attention, because slowing down forces the world to meet you where you are. That's power. Mini exercise. Your first upgrade starts now. We're going to do a simple but transformational exercise. You will repeat after me, but at half your normal speaking speed. I'll say the line, then you will say it. Here we go. Slow is smart. Slow is strong. Slow is respected. Now you say it, slowly. Again. I do not rush my words. I control my pace. Repeat it, slowly. One more. My voice carries more power when I slow down. Repeat it, slowly. Now notice how different that feels. Notice how different you feel. When you slow down, something changes inside you. Your breathing deepens. Your thoughts sharpen. Your presence expands. This is not just about sounding smart. It's about becoming someone who feels smart, calm, grounded, and in control. How slowing down makes others listen harder. Here's a psychological truth few people understand. When you talk fast, people relax. Not because they're comfortable, but because they know they don't need to hang on to every word. Your speed signals that even you don't think your words matter. But when you slow down, people tighten their focus. They lean forward. They absorb every word. You create verbal gravity, the invisible pull that makes your voice feel stronger, your ideas feel heavier, and your presence feel more valuable. This is why judges speak slowly. This is why leaders speak slowly. This is why people with real authority never rush. They understand something most people don't. The slower you speak, the more your voice becomes a command. Transformation. What you must do. Starting today. 1. Cut your speaking speed by 20%. Not a huge change. Not dramatic. Just slower enough that people feel the difference. 2. Breathe between sentences. Not because you need air, but because you need control. 3. Give your words space to land. Say your point, pause, let it hit, then continue. 4. Accept the silence. The silence is where your power grows. The silence is where your listener processes your intelligence. The silence is where confidence lives. The core lesson of Chapter 1. Speed kills clarity. Speed kills authority. Speed kills presence. But pacing, calm, deliberate pacing, creates the perception of intelligence instantly. And if you want to speak smart, you must learn the first discipline of all powerful communicators. Slow your speech, slow your breathing, slow your delivery, because slow is smart, slow is strong, slow is respected. You've just learned how pace creates power. Now you need the second pillar of intelligent speech, the discipline of removing everything that weakens your voice, because once you slow down, the next step is to clean up your words. Chapter 2. Kill the verbal noise. Every word must earn its place. Chapter 2. Kill the verbal noise. Every word must earn its place. Your voice is powerful, but only when every word you speak actually means something. Most people don't realize how much credibility they lose because of one simple bad habit: verbal noise. Filler words, empty phrases, pointless padding. Like, you know, basically, literally, and all the little crumbs we sprinkle into our sentences without even noticing. These tiny words seem harmless, but they destroy the sharpness of your speech. They weaken your presence. They make you sound unsure, unprepared, and less intelligent than you actually are. If Chapter 1 taught you to slow down, Chapter 2 teaches you to clean up, and this is where your voice truly begins to transform. Here's the truth you must accept. Every word you speak either adds power or steals it. There is no neutral. When you use filler words, you leak authority. You dilute your message. You force your listener to work harder to understand you. Intelligent communication requires verbal discipline, and that discipline begins with eliminating noise. Why verbal noise lowers your credibility? Let's break it down. 1. Filler words signal uncertainty. People use filler words as verbal crutches, little time buyers to fill the silence while their brain catches up. But to the listener, this signals doubt. It signals hesitation. It signals that you don't fully trust what you're saying. And people don't trust a voice that doesn't trust itself. 2. Filler words mask your message. When your sentence is cluttered with and like and you know, your listener has to sift through noise to find the meaning. They get distracted. They tune out. You lose impact. Communication is not about talking, it's about being understood. 3. Filler words destroy rhythm and flow. A smart speaker flows smoothly. Their sentences connect cleanly. Their ideas land with weight. Filler words break that rhythm. They interrupt that flow. They turn strong ideas into shaky delivery, and shaky delivery is never perceived as intelligent. How intelligent speakers remove verbal noise. Let's talk about people who sound sharp, clear, and trustworthy. They have one thing in common. They don't allow noise to pollute their words. They master conscious pausing. Instead of saying, I think we should, maybe go ahead with it, they simply pause, breathe, and speak. I think we should go ahead with it. That single change makes them sound 10 times smarter. Watch interviews with experts, professors, or leaders. Notice how they pause instead of filling space with noise. Notice how their pauses feel intentional. Notice how the silence between their words actually increases the impact of their message. That is the discipline you are learning right now. The rule: cut the noise, grow the authority. You will hear me repeat this phrase throughout the chapter because I want it burned into your mind. Cut the noise, grow the authority. Every filler word you remove gives your voice more weight. Every empty phrase you eliminate makes you sound more decisive. Every pause you use intentionally builds credibility. Authority isn't about speaking loudly, it's about speaking clearly. Before and after. The power of clean speech. Let's compare two versions of the same sentence so you can hear the difference. Before, with noise. I was thinking maybe we should, change the direction of the project because it's kinda not working the way we thought. Now listen to the clean version. After, with clarity. I believe we should change the direction of the project. It's not working as expected. Same idea, completely different impact. The first sounds insecure, scattered, unprepared. The second sounds clear, sharp, and in control. And that's what you want. Control over your message and control over how people perceive you. Transformation. What you must do. Starting today. This chapter is not just information. It is correction. It is training. It is verbal discipline. 1. Replace filler words with a pause. Every time you feel or like rising up, stop, breathe, pause. Speak your next word with intention. 2. Practice slow, clean sentences. Pace gives you control. Clarity gives you strength. Combine the two and your voice becomes intelligent by default. 3. Listen to yourself when you speak. Record short voice notes. You will hear your own noise instantly. Awareness is the first step to mastery. 4. Cut any word that doesn't serve the message. If it doesn't add clarity, remove it. If it doesn't add meaning, delete it. Every sentence should be tight, clean, and intentional. This isn't about sounding robotic, it's about sounding precise. Precision is intelligence in verbal form. The core lesson of Chapter 2. The world respects voices that sound certain, clean, and intentional. Removing verbal noise is one of the fastest ways to elevate your presence. Because when your speech is clean, your mind appears sharp. When your words are deliberate, your confidence becomes visible. Filler words make you forgettable. Precise words make you powerful. And if you want to sound smart, every word you speak must earn its place. You've removed the clutter. You've learned to cut the noise. Now you're ready for the next level of intelligent communication, the skill that separates reactive speakers from purposeful thinkers. You cleaned your words. Now it's time to shape your thoughts before you speak. Chapter 3. Think before you speak. The smart pause. You cleaned your words. Now it's time to shape your thoughts before you speak. Chapter 3. Think before you speak. The smart pause. Chapter 3. Think before you speak. The smart pause. Words are power. But the world is full of people who throw their words like stones, without aiming, without calm, without thought. You are not going to be one of them. Today's chapter is about one of the most underestimated habits of powerful people, the smart pause, the art of thinking before you speak, the discipline of giving your words weight by delaying them. Because the truth is simple, you are judged more by what you say than what you deeply are, and the people who master the pause become magnetic, respected, unshakable. Let's go deep. Section 1. Why most people speak too fast. Most people talk to fill silence. They talk to avoid discomfort. They talk because they fear that if they don't respond instantly, they'll appear slow, unsure, or unintelligent. But the opposite is true. Fast talkers often look insecure, confused, and uncontrolled. Think about it. When someone answers immediately without thinking, what do we assume? They're reacting, not reasoning. When someone rambles, they're not clear, even to themselves. When someone gives over-explanations, long justifications, too many words, they're trying to compensate for something. Impulsive talking leads to misunderstandings, regret, weak impressions, emotional explosions, and arguments that didn't even need to happen. Most importantly, impulsive speech exposes your weakness before your strength, but you're here to sound intentional, and that begins with a pause. Section 2. The 2-second pause, the rule of smart people. The 2-second pause rule. Before you speak, inhale gently, hold the thought, give yourself 2 seconds, then respond. 2 seconds is short enough to sound natural, but long enough to transform how others perceive you. When you pause, your words sound deliberate, your emotions settle, your tone becomes calmer, your presence becomes stronger, your intelligence becomes obvious. Powerful communicators don't rush, they choose their words. CEOs pause, judges pause, negotiators pause, public speakers pause, leaders pause, and people who don't pause, they say, "I didn't mean it like that. Sorry, that came out wrong. Let me explain." The pause eliminates that from your life. Section 3. Psychological power. Why pausing makes you look smarter. 1. Pausing signals confidence. Only insecure people rush. 2. Pausing improves clarity. Your brain organizes thoughts in that tiny break. 3. Pausing builds authority. Calm speakers command rooms. 4. Pausing earns respect. Silence makes others feel your presence. 5. Pausing prevents emotional reactions. It dissolves anger and defensiveness. 6. Pausing increases perceived intelligence. You sound thoughtful. 7. Pausing makes others reveal more. Silence invites information. If you want to be taken seriously, master the pause. Section 4. Real-life scenarios. How the smart pause changes everything. Scenario 1. Someone criticizes you before emotional reaction. After, calm response or strategic question. Scenario 2. Someone asks a difficult question before panic and rush. After, controlled, confident clarity. Scenario 3. Argument. Before, emotional chaos. After, strategic thinking. Scenario 4. Meeting. Before, competing to speak. After, fewer words, more impact. Scenario 5. Social conversation. Before, oversharing. After, controlled charm. When you pause, you lead the moment. When you rush, the moment controls you. Section 5. What you must stop doing. Immediately. Stop interrupting. Stop rushing your answers. Stop filling silence. Stop speaking without understanding. Stop over-explaining. Stop talking from nervousness. Removing these habits instantly changes your communication power. Section 6. What you must start doing from today. 1. Use the 2-second pause in every conversation. 2. Breathe before you speak. 3. Say less, but mean more. 4. Never interrupt. Let others finish. 5. Repeat this mantra. Pause to think. Pause to lead. Pause to win. Section 7. The transformation. How people will see you now. Use this skill consistently and you will notice. People take your words seriously. Arguments reduce, you appear wiser, calmer, more confident. Social presence becomes stronger. Misunderstandings disappear. Emotional control increases. The smart pause is not just a speaking technique. It is a life advantage. Your words are your identity. Your pauses are your power. Your control is your strength. When you pause, you are not weak. You are intentional. You rise above noise. You communicate with leadership, not fear. You have mastered one of the strongest tools of influence. Now it's time to sharpen your next tool. Chapter 4. Control your tone. Calm voices dominate rooms. Tone is the hidden language behind all language. Before your words are judged, your tone is judged. Before your message is understood, your voice is felt. And in this chapter, you are going to master one of the most powerful social skills in communication, tone control. Because no matter what you say, people hear how you say it first. Control your tone, or lose your power. Section 1. Why tone controls everything. Tone reveals what words hide. Even when you choose the right words, the wrong tone exposes your fear, stress, insecurity, or impatience. Here's what people instantly judge from your tone: confidence or uncertainty, stability or emotional chaos, patience or frustration, relaxation or desperation. Tone is the first thing they hear. Words come second. Respect is built or destroyed before your sentence ends. Calm voices dominate rooms, not loud or fast voices. Section 2. The 3 tone traps that destroy respect. 1. Whining tone. Weakness. Whining sends the message, "I'm uncomfortable, help me." It kills leadership and respect. 2. Yelling tone. Loss of control. Yelling doesn't show strength. It shows emotional collapse. The louder you speak, the smaller your authority becomes. 3. Rushing tone. Anxiety. Talking too fast signals nervousness and insecurity. It reduces your credibility and breaks your presence. Remember, control your tone or lose your power. Section 3. Why calm voices dominate rooms. 1. Calm tone signals control. 2. Calm tone slows others down. 3. Calm tone demands attention. 4. Calm tone shows intelligence. 5. Calm tone wins arguments without fighting. 6. Calm tone builds instant respect. Leaders, negotiators, mentors, their tone is always steady, calm, composed. This is why they are remembered. Section 4. How to master a calm, powerful tone. Step 1. Lower your volume. Step 2. Slow down your words slightly. Step 3. Drop your voice at the end of sentences. Step 4. Keep your breathing steady. Step 5. Remove emotional leakage. Step 6. Practice neutral tone when triggered. Step 7. Repeat. Calm voice, strong presence. Section 5. Tone. Transformations in real life. Disrespect. Reactive tone. Loud, offended. Controlled tone. Slow, calm, and untouchable. Business meeting. Reactive tone. Rushed. Controlled tone. So grounded and confident. Arguments. Reactive tone. Emotional highs. Controlled tone. Clarity. Leadership. Resolution. Social settings. Reactive tone. A nervous speed. Controlled tone. A relaxed confidence. Calm tone transforms conversations, relationships, and your self-image. Section 6. What to stop doing. Immediately. Stop talking fast. Stop letting emotions hijack your voice. Stop raising your volume. Stop sounding frustrated. Stop speaking without breathing. Stop ending sentences with high-pitched nervousness. Stop trying to sound strong. Become calm instead. Section 7. What to start doing today. 1. Speak 10% slower. 2. Keep your volume controlled. 3. Pause before emotional statements. 4. Maintain deep breathing. 5. Practice neutral tone during stress. 6. Repeat. Control your tone or lose your power. Tone is identity. Tone is reputation. Tone is self-mastery expressed through sound. When you control your tone, you control how the world responds. You control conversations, energy, and emotional direction. Your power lives in your calm voice. Now that you've learned to command attention through tone, it's time to master your reactions. Chapter 5. Listen 70%. Speak 30%. Most people believe good communication is about speaking well, but the smartest communicators know a deeper truth. Real power comes from listening. Listening is leverage. Listening gives you information, insight, angles, and advantages that talking will never give you. This is why psychologists, negotiators, therapists, and world leaders all follow one simple rule. Listen 70%, speak 30%. When you talk too much, you reveal too much. You expose your thoughts, your emotions, your weaknesses. But when you listen more, you gather data. You understand motives, fears, desires, and patterns. You learn what the other person truly wants, often before they even say it clearly. Listening is not passive. Real listening is strategic. It is active engagement with silence. It is the decision to hold your words so you can understand the room better than anyone in it. And here is the transformation. People who listen more get more respect. Why? Because listening communicates confidence. Only insecure people over-explain, dominate conversations, or try to fill every silence. A secure person gives space. A secure person lets others speak. A secure person observes long before they respond. Remember this line: listen long, speak short. Think of a great negotiator. They ask one question, and then they watch. They watch reactions, pauses, tone, hesitations. Every second gives them information they can later use to craft the exact answer that moves the conversation in their direction. Or think of a great leader. They enter meetings not to talk, but to learn, to understand the team's energy, to see the true problem behind the stated problem. They listen first, and because of that, when they finally speak, their words land with weight. The less you speak, the more your words matter. Most people do the opposite. They talk to impress. They talk to fill silence. They talk because silence makes them uncomfortable. But silence is your ally. Silence forces the other person to reveal more. So if you want to transform your communication, stop rushing to respond. Stop interrupting. Stop planning your reply while the other person is still talking. Slow down. Absorb. Let people finish. Let people express. Let people reveal themselves. They always will. Your job is simple. Listen 70%, speak 30%. And when you do speak, make it intentional, measured, and valuable. This rule will change how people see you. It will change how they respect you. It will change the opportunities that open for you, because people trust those who listen. Listen long, speak short, lead quietly, win loudly. You've learned the power of listening. Now, let's explore another pillar of powerful communication, Chapter 6. Explaining everything, precision beats performance. There is a habit that silently destroys confidence, weakens communication, and makes even the smartest people appear insecure. That habit is over-explaining. When you explain everything, defend everything, justify everything, you send a message without realizing it. I don't trust my own words. And when you don't trust your words, no one else will. Smart communicators know this. Precision is power. People respect clarity, not long speeches. They respect confidence, not justification. They respect statements, not performances. Think about it. Over-explaining comes from fear. Fear of being misunderstood. Fear of being judged. Fear of disappointing someone. Fear of sounding wrong. So you overtalk. You add details no one asked for. You repeat yourself. You apologize in advance. You say too much, hoping the extra words will protect you. But here is the truth. The more you explain, the weaker you sound. The more you justify, the smaller you appear. The more you talk, the less they hear. Effective communication is not about performing. It's about delivering your thought with clarity, simplicity, and confidence. The people who dominate rooms don't speak the most. They speak with the most precision. They say exactly what needs to be said, and then they stop talking. Transformations happen when you stop performing and start communicating. This means you must break 3 habits. 1. Stop justifying your decisions. A decision needs clarity, not defense. I've decided is stronger than I chose this because you don't have to hand over evidence every time you open your mouth. 2. Stop repeating your point. If you believe it, say it once, cleanly. Repeating shows anxiety, not intelligence. 3. Stop adding unnecessary details. Too much information dilutes your power. Precision sharpens it. You need to embrace this mantra. Stop performing. Start communicating. Say it again. Stop performing. Start communicating. This is the mindset of leaders, experts, and people with presence. They don't panic when silence appears. They don't scramble to fill the space with more words. They trust the strength of a single, clear sentence. Remember, the goal is not to impress people. It's to express your message with power. When your communication becomes precise, your presence becomes stronger. People listen more. People respect more. People take you seriously. If you want to step into your next level, you must release the urge to explain everything. Say what matters. Say it clearly. Then let the silence support you, because silence supports the confident. And with that, you unlock another layer of powerful communication. You've learned when to stop talking. Chapter 8. Own the silence. Your confidence is loudest when you're quiet. Silence is one of the most misunderstood tools in communication. Most people fear it. They rush to fill it. They panic when the room goes quiet. But confident people know a secret. Silence is not empty. Silence is influence. Your silence says something about you. It says you're not desperate. It says you're not insecure. It says you're not in a hurry to prove yourself. It says you're comfortable with yourself, even when nothing is being said. And in communication, that level of comfort becomes power. When you speak and immediately rush to fill the quiet that follows, you weaken your message. You look uncertain, unsure, unstable. But when you make your point and then allow the silence to live, you send a different signal. I meant what I said. My words stand on their own. I do not need to chase your approval. This is the power of owning silence. The hold the silence technique. Here's a technique that top negotiators, therapists, and leaders use, and it's a technique you must master. Hold the silence. When you speak, and especially when you make an important point, you simply stop talking afterward. You let the silence do the work. You wait. You stay calm. You don't rush to clarify. You don't backtrack. You don't soften your point. You stay still. And eventually the other person fills the silence. And in that moment they reveal more, agree more, or soften more than they would have if you kept talking. Silence gives you two advantages. 1. It forces the other person to respond. Humans can't stand silence, so they speak, and their words give you insight, leverage, or agreement. 2. It projects absolute confidence. Only powerful people can sit in silence without anxiety. When you stay quiet, people assume you know more, feel more certain, and hold more authority. What you must do now. If you want to transform your communication, you must train yourself to use silence strategically. Stop fearing silence. Start leveraging it. Stop filling the space. Start holding the space. Stop rushing. Start controlling. Your goal is simple. Finish your sentence and wait. Let your point land. Let silence amplify your message. Repeat this mantra until it becomes part of you. Silence is a strategy. Silence is a signal. Silence is strength. Say it again. Silence is a strategy. Silence is a signal. Silence is strength. When you own the silence, you own the room. Because silence belongs to the confident. You've now learned how silence can strengthen your presence. But communication mastery has another layer, not just using silence, but choosing your words with precision. You've mastered the art of saying nothing. Now let's master the art of saying less. Chapter 9. Speak with purpose. Every conversation is a strategy. Most people speak without thinking. They talk to fill silence. They talk to sound smart. They talk because their emotions push them to react. But smart communicators operate differently. They know that every conversation is a strategy, and every sentence must have a purpose. When your words have purpose, your communication stops being random. You stop talking just to talk. You stop wasting energy. You stop weakening your presence. Purpose gives your speech direction. It tells people you know what you're doing and why you're saying what you're saying. And in a world full of noise, purposeful speech becomes power. Why purpose matters. When you speak without intention, you create confusion. You say things you don't mean. You overshare. You argue unnecessarily. You expose your emotions, your fears, and your vulnerabilities without realizing it. But when you speak with purpose, everything changes. Your words become clearer. Your message becomes stronger. Your presence becomes sharper. People listen more closely because purposeful speech sounds different. It feels deliberate. It feels stable. It feels trustworthy. For example, the workplace. Imagine someone asks you in a meeting, "What do you think about this idea?" A person without purpose starts talking in circles. "Well, I'm not sure. Maybe it's good. Maybe not. I guess we could try, but I also think—" They drown in their own words. A purposeful communicator asks themselves one quick internal question: why am I saying this? If the purpose is clarity, they respond simply, "I think this idea will work because A and B. My only concern is C." Short, clear, strategic. The room listens. The message lands. The speaker looks confident. In relationships, people often argue because they speak emotionally instead of purposefully. For example, someone feels hurt and immediately says too much. "You never listen. You don't care. You always do this." But the real purpose wasn't to attack. The real purpose was to be understood. So a purposeful communicator takes a breath and speaks with intention. "My purpose is to express how I feel so we can fix this." Then they speak. "When this happened, I felt ignored. I don't want to argue. I want us to understand each other." The difference is night and day. Purpose turns conflict into communication. Like confident people are not confident because they speak more. They're confident because they speak with intention. At a gathering, someone insecure rambles, "So anyway, yeah, I don't know why I said that. Haha. They talk randomly, hoping to sound interesting. A purposeful communicator speaks only when they have something to add. They listen. They observe. Then they say one meaningful sentence that actually contributes. And because they speak less but with intention, people see them as thoughtful, wise, and composed. Transformation. What you must do. If you want to upgrade your communication, start with one rule. Before you speak, ask yourself, why am I saying this? Is it to clarify, to express, to understand, to influence, or is it simply to fill space, defend yourself, or calm your anxiety? The difference between intentional talking and emotional talking is the difference between power and weakness. Here is your transformation. Stop speaking reactively. Start speaking strategically. Stop speaking emotionally. Start speaking intentionally. Stop speaking without thinking. Start speaking with purpose. Say this to yourself every day. Purpose before speech. Purpose before words. Purpose before everything. This chapter brings you closer to mastering deliberate, controlled communication. Remember this. Smart speaking is not a talent. It's a discipline. You learn it. You practice it. You repeat it until it becomes who you are. Slow your words. Cut the noise. Hold your pause. Speak with clarity, with tone, with purpose. Listen more than you talk. Ask sharp questions. Own your silence. And above all, treat every sentence like it represents you, because it does. Your voice is your power, your words are your identity, and your speech is the difference between being ignored and being respected. Now the challenge begins. For the next 24 hours, speak less, speak slower, and speak smarter. Let the world feel the difference.